We aren't going to get through all of that. We'll at least try to finish this, at least this verse, and we'll move on. But he says, after deceit, evil-mindedness. Evil-mindedness in the Greek is a disposition producing evil habits. It means malignity of the mind, which leads its victim to put the worst construction on every action. Leads its victim to put the worst construction on every action, no matter how good and how righteous that action may be. Ascribing to the best deeds the worst motives. Jesus knew something about that. You remember over in the gospel where he's confronting the Pharisees, and they said, this man cast out devils by Beelzebub, the prince of devils. Talking about Jesus. And it's in that passage, in the context of that passage where Jesus turned to them and said, look, all manner of sin against the Father and against the Son can be forgiven. He said, but blasphemy against the Holy Ghost, there is no forgiveness in this world or the one to come. Because people talk, you know, we've been there before, so I won't spend a lot of time here, but they talk about, what's blasphemy? I've had that question time and time. What is blasphemy the Holy Ghost? How do you blaspheme the Holy Ghost? Most people think it's just saying something bad about God. That's not blasphemy the Holy Spirit. It's blasphemy, it's a form of blasphemy, but that's not blasphemy against the Holy Ghost. Blasphemy against the Holy Ghost is when you ascribe something that God done to the devil. That's why people need to be very careful when they talk about us Pentecostals. Yeah, I'll admit there's a lot of flakes in the Pentecostal realm. We get all of them. You know, the devil's going to make sure we get a lot of the nutcases, you know, and we get a lot of nutcases in Pentecostalism. That's just a fact. We do. But we have, most of them, we have genuine people that love God and want to obey the Spirit of God. And I've even heard preachers get up in pulpits in sermons and years go by, get up in pulpits and start making gibberish noise and stuff, making fun of people who spoke in tongues. And I heard it on the radio one day. Very famous. If I called his name, almost everybody knew he did and gone down south. But a very famous preacher, a very famous church in Texas, who had a worldwide ministry, and I heard him on his program that day. I was through with him after that day. I was done with him. Making fun of something that the Holy Ghost does. You can't do that. That is dangerous territory. And you have to be careful. My policy is this: if you don't know, best thing to do, don't say anything. If you don't know, play shut mouth. So it means ascribing the best to the best deeds, the worst motives. I've heard people talking about people who have a ministry of healing, or us pray for people to be healed, and I've heard people mock that and ridicule that. You better be careful, because the Holy Ghost does heal, still heals people, is still healing people, and you better be careful. He may not heal you, there might be a reason for it, you know, but he's still healing. He's still delivering, still setting free. And so they were ascribing the work that Jesus did to the enemy. And that's when he paused right there and he set them straight right there. The most poignant thing he ever said about blasphemy the Holy Ghost. He said, be careful. Some of these guys, they were on the line. Some of them may have already crossed that line in his day. Anyway, got to move on. They are whisperers, the last part of that verse says. Whisperers in the Greek means secret detractors. Those who pretend secrecy and carry out accusations against men, whether true or false, blasting their reputation by clandestine gossip. Clandestine gossip. In other words, undercover gossip. Secret gossip. These are the types of people who pretend to be a friend, who pretend to be concerned about you and contend to be on your team. And they just have your best interest in mind. And that same person turns around, stabs you in the back, and lets out all the secrets, whether they're true or not. Whether they're true or false, lets out all the secrets just to bring you to ruin. Again, unfortunately, that spirit is in the church nowadays. Whether it's true or false, they're blasting the reputation of other people. out of malicious reasons and malicious goings on. I would love to. It's going to take a little more time, so I'm gonna land.